Here we are with week 7 of the League of Extraordinary Trainers. Season 10, week 7 for the Ultra Ball Conference. This week we are fighting the Colorado Aggrons headed by Erflab. So Erflab is stepping in for the previous person, so he's kind of had to have a team that he may or may not be as comfortable with. But if I know anything about people who come in taking these teams, they're usually somewhat confident or looking to have fun, which is what I like to do anyways. Would prefer to battle those people than anybody who's so try hard that they don't have fun with it. But anyways, here we go. Looks like we are fighting Jolteon, Mesprit, Golurk, Charizard, Absol, and Miltank with Cryogonal, Xurkitree, Vileplume, Claydol, Gigalith, and Swoobat. So this team does actually concern me quite a bit. Every time I have fought a Miltank, I have somehow never been able to beat it before, so that thing concerns me greatly. It's a great physical tank, and if you tie an Assault Vest to it, good luck KOing it. And then, of course, we've got Absol, my favorite Pokemon, who I have a very good idea of what it's capable of. There's so many things you could do with an Absol. And they all require, not all of them, but there's enough different sets that you require different kinds of checks for them. Charizard can be a potent setup sweeper, and that is one thing I do not want to fight. Mesprit, we've got, I don't fight very often, but I know it is a lot more offensive than the Uxie that we fought before. And I believe and it should be faster as well, so I'm not entirely certain when I'm going to go off with that. Golurk, I like, but I've never used properly myself, and I don't fight it often enough to have a good idea of how to use it properly. So that one's going to be a crapshoot. And then we've got Jolteon, one of the fastest Pokemon. Actually, it probably is going to be the fastest Pokemon in this entire battle. And it's electric, so Xurkitree is not immediately threatening to it. Let's go ahead and see what we are choosing to go off with this. So one thing that I would like is definitely Stealth Rocks right off the bat. If that Charizard is not Heavy Duty Boots, Stealth Rocks will be immensely helpful. But it's the only thing on that team that would really need Heavy Duty Boots. So that's what the item is I'm expecting on it. It's also the only hazard clearer on this team as far as I'm aware, with it possibly being able to use Defog. So I'm almost venturing to guess that it should be a Heavy Duty Boots one. I should also note that this is the first week that I'm using, that I have access to my trade Pokemon. So I swapped out Stoutland, and I've swapped out Dottler for Xurkitree and Pangoro, who we will see later on in one of my other battles. But it looks like we decided to go with Swoobat first off. Thinking because it's got a sash and we can kind of see what's coming up. Maybe make some holes. And out first is Miltank. Ugh. Miltank, the thing of nightmares, mostly because of Whitney. Anyways, Miltank is a Stealth Rocker, actually, Stealth Rocking tank. And since it's out here first on the field, I'm thinking that's probably what it's going to do first, is try and get Stealth Rock set up. But if that's the case, I get a free boost because my sash is already on this thing, so I'm not affected by Stealth Rocks with this guy already here. And I know I mentioned Miltank having an Assault Vest. If it is Stealth Rocks, it's not going to have an Assault Vest, which means that its special defense stat is actually going to be significantly lower without it. So if we set up and we're able to actually take it down, that would be wonderful. Yep, and there's the Stealth Rocks first. But we're in a significantly good position because we still have our sash intact and we have a nasty plot off. So right now, it's kind of iffy if I can KO this thing or not. It might depend on what its investment is. But we do manage to score the KO with the Swoobat. Stored power did it. And we got it without breaking our sash. So that is a wonderful thing.
Come on, Absol. You know you want
so obviously he's seen that I have Nasty Plot and Stored Power.
Happy about that.
He doesn't know my other coverage moves, but one thing that is terrible about a Swoobat is that it does not get Fairy type coverage at all, which I would love for it to have. So now I'm kind of debating about whether I want to swap out into this Absol. I don't have anything that I really want to do that with, it looks like, though. So we're just going to go straight through and hope that we KO it, which we do. I knew there was a decent shot of it, especially at +4, because Absol does not have the greatest of defenses. Now, if you build Absol somewhat bulky, like getting up its HP, it probably would have survived that. But most people would prefer to speed on that than the HP. So now we have Mesprit, but we brought coverage for just this thing. And it looks like we get to have a mirror match.
Nice Scarf.
We've also revealed that this thing is actually scarfed. So I don't think Mesprit shouldn't naturally be faster than Swoobat. And we managed to KO it as well. So already right off the bat, we managed to get 3 KOs with Swoobat, which is just absolutely amazing, especially considering how little Swoobat has actually done for me this entire season. So this is Swoobat's time to shine. I mean, it's already dismantled half of this team. Alright, now we got Jolteon, who is naturally faster than Swoobat. So Swoobat either goes down here, or I swap it out to try and preserve it. I mean, if I'm going for differential, which, with how this season's going, might actually matter. So, yep, we decided that we're going to try and save it. If we can get rid of Stealth Rocks, he can come in and outspeed the rest of his team, because he's got Charizard and Golurk left. Charizard's not naturally faster, neither is Golurk. Charizard can set up and be faster, though. And if that's the case, I've already got problems anyways. That Swoobat just can't solve with that. Alright, but Gigalith, we have Gigalith come out, tank the special attack from Jolteon, who has decent special attack stat, but not enough that's going to get past Gigalith in Sandstorm. At least not like this. Alright, looks like we're going to set up Stealth Rocks, because we're really forcing that Jolteon out with how little damage it's doing. And next week, you got Golurk coming in. Hindsight 2020, really glad I clicked Stealth Rock instead of just trying to attack it. Because I either had Body Press for that, or I had Rock Blast. So unfortunately, Gigalith cannot actually touch this Golurk. And probably checking to see which variant of Vileplume I brought. I set my teams up like a day before this, so I don't always entirely remember which ones I bring in. But, that being said, thanks to Vileplume coming in, ooh, we've got a Rock Polish Golurk. So, now its speed is actually a concern. But, Golurk, even with +2 speed, it'll outspeed Vileplume, but since this is my bulky Vileplume, I don't know if it's gonna... It really shouldn't KO Vileplume in one shot. Not even with Earthquake. But on the off chance that it's item... Ooh, we forced the switch, which might be why I hit Corrosive Gas. Because here comes Charizard now. And now we've got Corrosive Gas getting rid of its heavy-duty boots, so Charizard either has to stay in, or it's going to have to take 50% of its health. Or it could defog here, I suppose, too, and not worry about it. Either way, it looks like we're swapping to Claydol, who I am guessing is probably my special defense wall, if I brought one. Who knows? I've got several versions of all these Pokemon, so it's a crapshoot without looking at the summary, which I didn't do here. I probably remembered which one it was off the bat. But yeah, now my opponent's probably trying to figure out what to do about not having heavy-duty boots anymore. Okay, so he decided to swap out anyways. And Golurk's coming back in. Yeah, hindsight 2020 again. Probably wishing I kept Vileplume in instead. Because Claydol does not want to deal with a ghost type. And now we can't Rapid Spin either because it's a ghost. So we're stuck with the Stealth Rocks on my side of the field too. Both sides have Stealth Rocks, though my team's far better off without it. Zoop. And here comes the Poltergeist. And down goes Claydol, which, yeah, kind of expect that. And we did figure out that its item is Life Orb, which is nice to know. Although, kind of expecting that after the Rock Polish. Not sure what I thought it would be after that, though. But in comes the Cryogonal, who should force him out. Because we all know Golurk does not like ice types. It's really hard when I was able to get 3 of his Pokemon out, so I'm sure he's having to think of quite a bit how he can get himself out of this spot. Meanwhile, I have to try and avoid giving him anything. Alright, so we know he's got Rock Polish, we know he's got Drain Punch, and we know he's got Poltergeist. Alright, so he didn't actually want to stay in with the Golurk anymore, fearing of what I could possibly do to him. And now Charizard lost half its health thanks to the Stealth Rocks. Yep. And the Charizard did actually use Defog. But there went my Reflect, which I think was the main reason for him doing that. After all, Charizard already took his chunk. But now, thanks to our Rapid Spin, we're actually faster than the Charizard. For sure. So, we have definitely got the speed advantage on him, and since he's so low in health, the Cryogonal should be able to KO him, which we did with Freeze Dry. And so now the Fire Lizard has fainted to the Snowflake, which is hilarious in my opinion. Yep. Next we have Jolteon. Now then, does our +1 to speed actually outspeed this thing or not? And the question is, do we risk it? Well, I'm thinking about it. And we thought about it. And we're saying it's worth the risk. If I'm faster, I'm close to full HP. And if not, I might faint or I might not. Cryogonal is actually a really good special defense tank. So we are faster. We get our recover off, so we got the majority of our health back. And we get to see what Jolteon decides to do next, because it is not KOing us. Ooh, Yawn. Yawn is always something that I forget that the EVs have access to. So, oop, am I actually going to let Cryogonal go to sleep? I am. Okay. There is one good thing about that. With Cryogonal going to sleep, thanks to our rules, he's not allowed to use Yawn anymore, because he can't intentionally put more than one Pokemon to sleep. So Cryogonal's asleep, can probably stay asleep for all that matters for the rest of this. Vileplume gets to come in and tank whatever Jolteon can do. Or Jolteon can swap out to Golurk. Alright, without our Reflect, it's a little bit more iffy if Vileplume survives these attacks, but it should still be fine. This was our physically bulky Vileplume, if I remember correctly. And Giga Drain should heal back enough that we survive 2. Or he goes straight back into the Jolteon. Ugh. Looks like we lost some of the video there when we were recording. But there's a good chunk of Jolteon's HP gone. And Giga Drain is able to take out another, but we could do Sludge Bomb just to make sure that we get the KO instead. We'll take Shadow Ball to the face, which, not great, but Vileplume scores the KO on Jolteon. We get some of our health back thanks to Black Sludge, and hopefully it will be enough for Vileplume to survive against Golurk, because at this point we have no reason to switch. Vileplume handles Golurk quite easily, if it can live an attack. And if it doesn't, we'll have a clean switch in. Ooh, and the Poltergeist missed. That is unfortunate for my opponent. But ultimately, I don't think that would have changed the outcome of this fight. It might have given him a better differential, but that's about it. And that would have been close. Vileplume might have still survived that other one. But granted, Golurk is faster, so provided the next Poltergeist hit, Vileplume would have been out anyways, but our next Pokemon would be in and finish off Golurk. Alright, but that's a 5-0 victory against Erflab, which is great because we're in the middle of the pack with standings. After week 7, oh, what was the matchups after that? Looks like we had, let's see, week 7, 4 wins and 3 losses. So yeah, we're middle of the pack, which means differential is probably going to mean quite a bit whether I make playoffs or not. So it was very good that we got a 5-0 here. So that'll help us immensely. But with all that being said, good game to my opponent. Next week is week 8, where we'll be fighting the Columbus Cottonies. So I will hopefully see you all again for that video. Till then, you guys have fun.